Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing books I'd still recommend in 2023. I hope Diabakala. I don't know whether to pull the camera closer. I'm fine like this, but I think I'm fine like this. Today's a bit cold, came not that cold, but this week the weather has been confused a bit. It says it's gonna rain, but akafafazi, there's no sign of rain. Anyway, books I'd still recommend. I don't know why my voice is sounding so soft. My voice is soft. I'm trying to be louder, but it's still in the morning and I've just woken up. So, yeah. So, the first book was it this one? Or, okay, yeah, the first book is this one on books I'd still recommend in 2023. So, I've recently read this book. I have read it before. I've read it before, but this was my like second time reading it. But it still felt like the first time. It's Black Widow Society by Angela Makholwa, and she also I recently watched that what's that movie on Netflix? Love, Six and 30 Candles. Yes, and it's based on one of her books, which is the 30th Candle. I want to get that book, and I also would love to read Red Ink because the first time I read this, even the second time I read it, it was amazing. I enjoyed it. The suspense, the intrigue, everything. I just enjoyed it. And also that part where Umzake kills her part. If you've read the book, oh, spoiler alert, like kills his partner. I'm just like, you could have just spoken to her. Like, you could have just spoken to her. And also, if like um, a Black Widow Society was a real thing, like if it was, if there was a Black Widow Society in real life, would you join? Like, it's scary. I am one person who doesn't like, who's not necessarily about revenge. I don't believe in an eye for an eye. I don't believe in that. Like, God will deal with you or karma or whatever will deal. Like, life happens. So it's not that ngizokubambela inhliziyo or ngizokubamba ngenhliziyo and be like, yes, I want something bad to happen to you. No, I'm just gonna be cool and be like, okay, that happened. I'm gonna hate you in that moment. And then after a while, I'll just be over it. And then, yeah. And then if things happen to you, then I don't know. It's not me, it's definitely life happening to you. And they say what comes around goes around. Well, does it really? We don't know. Anyway, I really did enjoy this book, so I'd still recommend it in 2023. I definitely still recommend it. I bought it in 2021 in Cape Town. I was still in Cape Town. There's this guy called Usmu Dikiza on Facebook. That's where I bought it from. I bought it from him. I think on my other channel I just said something about this book. I did actually. Um, I only ordered I think 3 books from him, and then when I met up with him, he had like other books. So I saw this book and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, but I don't have the money for it now because I was paying him for the other 3 books. And I was like, no, it's fine, I can give it to you. And then when you have money, you can just pay me. And I was just so happy and so grateful because the first time I saw it, it was on I think on social media, yes, and I just took a screenshot. There's this thing I do. I like taking screenshots. Maybe a person posts a book or whatever, and I find the title interesting, or I'm just like, oh, that sounds interesting. Or the person maybe reviews the book, and then I just take a screenshot, and I'm like, hopefully someday I'll get it. Okay, and yeah, 4 minutes young into the good one. And the second book is by Nicolette Mashile and it's What's Your Move. I'd definitely highly recommend this book. I'd still recommend it in 2023. I mean, I would recommend it any year of your life. It's still like valid. Can I say valid? It's still useful and it will forever be useful. I don't like it will forever be useful. uh I didn't buy this book, I got it as a gift. And yeah, what else can I say about the book? It has helped me. It has helped me a lot in paying off my debt. But besides helping me, I think I was gonna pay off my debt regardless because I just feel bad when I have a majala and all of that. But it really did help me. It's really useful and it gives you tips and everything. So, and it's a fun book to read, like those mini stories about her life, about her being in holding cell, and just and the name Kiribori and the car's name Kiribori. I think that was just funny, and like because the car has been through a lot and has seen a lot, so she named it Kiribori. That was actually funny. It's funny and it's interesting and it's insightful and it's also educational, which is amazing. So I'd still recommend it in 2023. If you are thinking about buying this book, just buy it. If you already have it, kudos to you, because it's an amazing book to have. And then also a book I'd still recommend in 2023 is Black Girl's Guide to Corporate South Africa by Lindelwa Skenjane. I'd still recommend this book. I only read it once, yeah, because Nicolette Mashile I read it again as well. This one I think I only read it once because there's no highlights whatsoever. Oh, and I was gonna read some parts I highlighted from the book. Let me see if there's anything I highlighted. Okay, there's a lot of things I highlighted actually. Let me just see that can help protect. Okay, there's quite a lot. I'm just gonna choose maybe one. Okay, I'm just gonna share this one. She shares her beliefs about how everyday behavior influences how we manage our finances and how, in spite of knowing better, we sometimes make the wrong financial decisions, which is so true. In spite of knowing better, you still make the wrong financial decisions. Like myself and I was like, I'm not gonna spend any money on clothing this time. I'm just gonna pay off my debt and focus and whatever. But guess what? I still spent money on clothing and I still didn't save. I was like, oh, I'm gonna save up. I still didn't save up, but I knew better, but I didn't do better. So that's so true. Even like we sometimes make the wrong in spite of knowing better, we sometimes make the wrong financial decisions, which is so true. And then let me see if I highlighted anything on the Black Widow Society. I think here I just highlighted words that I didn't like, that I had to just go back to Google and Google them. Sometimes like I do know the meaning of the word, but sometimes like, do I still remember the meaning of this word? But sometimes I just don't know the meaning, then I'm just like, okay, I need to Google that. But sometimes you make sense of the meaning like by reading the sentence. So I didn't highlight anything here, just words, I think. That's just words. And I only read this one once and I didn't highlight anything. Yeah, I didn't highlight anything, but there's a lot of, let me see, what's this? The higher you go, the more you need to play the game. Okay, no. Um, can corporate culture become inclusive and truly embody diversity? That's also food for thoughts, I think, something to think about and something to like, is it really inclusive and truly embody diversity? Even though now everyone is about diversity and is it inclusivity? Yes, I always say exclusivity. Inclusivity, but when you really look into it, or maybe when you are in corporate, you kind of see that can I say black people, or because colors are also considered as black people, right, and Indians, but you see, but okay, even if there is inclusivity and diversity, sometimes people who get the higher positions are either colored, Indian, or white, and then the black people will just be the I don't want to say unskilled, but like the the lower level of, you know, the institution or the organization or whatever. They'll mostly be on the lower level or middle level, or maybe I haven't experienced enough of corporate culture to be indulging in the topic or subject or whatever. But yeah, there's a lot of what did I want to say? There's this word I wanted to use. Actually forgot the word, but I learned it from someone. Yeah, let's not use it anyway. But yeah, there's a lot to take away from this book, and I think I don't think I still recommend it in 2023. I've seen a lot of people on Instagram, like on their feeds, they either have a picture with this book or they posted this book on their stories. So you should definitely buy it. It's a good book. The This is the fourth one. Okay, the video is already 10 minutes long. The fourth one is The Zulus of New York by Zakes. It took me a while to read this book. Like, I've been struggling to read it. It took me quite some time because every time I'd probably read it or I'd be back at home and read it. And when I'm at home, I don't really like, I read and then I get disturbed by my mom or get disturbed by something or a distraction or I watch TV or there's a lot of distractions at home. So I never really, sometimes if a book or maybe it's not good enough, but it is good. If it's not good enough, I struggle to finish. I just struggle to finish. But I finally read it, and because I don't know how many times I remember ndayifunda and then ndayishiya phakathi, and then when I went back to it I was like, I forgot what happened in the beginning, so I kind of like have to start afresh. I started afresh but still didn't, and then only the third time I think I read it until deep. So yeah, it's basically about a guy who got recruited and went to New York. Like, not guy, they aren't all Zulus. They just, but they, when they sent them to New York, they were trained to be Zulus. Like, I don't know, should I say Zulu or Ama Zulu? Like, saying Zulu sounds so like I'm just a white person. So Zulus, Ama Zulu. Yeah, they so they went to New York doing performances, Zulu dance performances, but the book is not all about that. I really enjoyed it, to be quite honest. There's a love story involved. Anyway, where there's a love story, I'm a sucker for love stories. Uh, but it's not, it doesn't end. It's not a happily ever after. It's not a happily ever after. It's also like he falls in love with, falls. Oh, falls in love with this, with a muse. She's not a muse exactly, but she was like a slave. She was enslaved, and then she would be displayed, can I say displayed, in public areas, and people would come and watch and all of that. So B started following her or whatever, and then they both liked each other, but she couldn't be in a relationship with him because she was sexually assaulted or abused. And if you're sensitive to those things, I don't think you should buy it, because she says in several occasions that when her master was playing cards and like he lost, ebe andazi noba abhida ngayo okanye ethengisa ngayo. Okay, at first it wasn't like that. She'd just be there and they'd play cards, but after a while they suggested that if her master lost, why don't they sleep with her? And then they started doing that, and then she'd fight, like she'd, and then some men would be turned on by that. It's just a lot. And then they started, but like them because she'd fight, so they just and then they do their thing. So it's very, if you're sensitive to that, I wouldn't suggest you buy it, but it's a good read. And yeah, and besides that, she never left, because Mpi was like, let's go back to South Africa, come back with me to South Africa and be my wife. And yeah, she was just like, I ain't doing that, boo. But she, by the way, she ended up killing her master, like Wambula. Killing. It sounds okay. And then I highlighted a few parts. It says that the end is always a journey, which I think is true. And then also, sometimes you need to learn that we can love from a distance and do nothing about it, which is so true. Like, just think about it. Sometimes you need to learn that we can love from a distance and do nothing about it. And then, as like Mpi had to love from a distance because he couldn't force her like to actually be his wife. Yeah. And then I think I also highlighted, there's this other part I even posted. Yeah, it says people suffer not because of their sins, but because of the sins of those close to them. I felt like I could relate to the statement. I will tell you why. But yeah, sometimes we suffer because of the sins of our families, or like because of the people close to you. Sometimes you suffer because of that, not because of your sins. What else did I highlight? There isn't much that I highlighted, but yeah, I'd recommend that you buy this book. I still recommend it in 2023. Last but not least, I have my fave here. What? Oh, sorry, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and this is Americanah. Oh, this book, I love this book so much. I think everybody does though. Chimamanda is just the best. I've read what other books? I've read a lot. I think I've read almost all. Okay, not all. I've read what's the name of that book? Half of a Yellow Sun. I think that that it's amazing. I read it last year. Oh my god. It was like, yeah, but anyway, we're here now. Americana, this is also, it's also relatable, like when she goes to another country, or like I think for students it would be relatable, like maybe you go to a different province or different country or whatever, and you're there and you're just struggling for your life and trying to make ends meet, and it's just like, and also love story, of course there has to be a love story. I absolutely love love stories. There has to be a love story. But I think she was wrong for not telling oh, what's the boyfriend's name again? I forgot the boyfriend's name. uh Obinze. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Obinze. Like, I think if Emelo was wrong for not telling him about what had happened to her, so she also experienced, I don't know, I would say it's sexual assault, or I don't know, or abuse in a sense, but it was rape. I don't know, because she was struggling, so she was looking for a job and she wasn't getting a job, and she just tried everything. And then there was this other man. I don't know if it was someone recommended the guy or what, or they were like, the guy is looking for someone. I wouldn't say a sports therapist. Um, Someone that's gonna help him relax. I think it was something along those lines. And when she went there, the place was dodgy. At first, she was just like, she could tell that this man is dodgy and like dingy and all of that. And she didn't like, she left at first, but the guy, I think she still had the guy's number, or she went back to the guy's place because she was really desperate. And then she just let the guy do like whatever he wanted to do to her. So yeah, and she ended up getting the money, and yeah, it's just hectic. But I think she was wrong for just because she just isolated and closed herself off and wouldn't talk to anyone for quite some time, and she just didn't reply to any emails or Binze's emails, and didn't say anything at all. Like, she was so ashamed, and so, I don't know, she felt violated. I don't know, but it was just like, you have to read it. You have to read it to get it. And then after a while, after years, when she goes back to Nigeria, like, she decides to go back to Nigeria, and then obviously she meets with Opinza again. I think she's the one that told him that she's back and all of that, and they met up. But I think it was just so unfair of her, because now she's back and now she's contacting him. Opinze has already moved on with his life, is already married with kids, and she's just like, boom, I'm back. I felt that was just unfair. Like, because maybe if, probably, I don't know, if she would have communicated, Opinze was gonna understand, and maybe this my high school sweetheart story. It was gonna be like a high school sweetheart story vibes. Maybe, just maybe. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I think I also read it twice. I like, I'm just like, sometimes I'm just like, I have nothing else to do or no book to read, and then I just read it twice. And I've also read The Purple Hibiscus. So I think you just read all of her books, really. And That Thing Around Your Neck. I'm not sure if The Thing Around Your Neck, like, it's short stories, but I'm not sure if it's like all her short stories, or it's different authors, or it's just her, because it's like short stories and then like, yeah. And then Purple Hibiscus, oh my god, I enjoyed that book as well. But there was also a love story involved, and an abusive husband. It's, if you're sensitive to those things, then I wouldn't suggest that you read it. But yeah, anyway, this is my last book. So yeah, and I've recorded for 20 minutes. I think I'll just edit some parts out. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Oh my god, I'm on 7 subscribers. I get so excited every time. Like, every time I gain 1 subscriber, I get so excited. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, who decided to subscribe this time? Because I have that cabin crew video, and it has like 200 and something views, and I'm like, why don't you just click the subscribe button? It's free. It doesn't cost a damn thing, but you know, it's cool. Because when I watch people's videos, definitely everyone is not like me, but like when I watch, I'm just like, okay, so much subscribe, you know. But sometimes, yeah, but most of the time, I'm just like, okay, yeah, so much subscribe, because it doesn't cost me a thing. Anyway, bye guys, see you on my next video. I don't know when will I upload. Yeah.